Hey guys, I'm Josh, this is Josh Build Stuff, and today we are building the brand new Pirates of Barracuda Bay set, just released in April of this year. This set costs $199.99, consists of just over 2,500 pieces, and is recommended for ages 16 plus. That 16 plus age recommendation makes me think of a story. You see, I was born in 1987. For those who don't know, this pirate ship is based on the Black Seas Barracuda LEGO pirate set that was released in 1989. That means I would have been 2 when that set came out. And yet, somehow I have vivid memories of my dad struggling to put together that original Black Seas Barracuda pirate ship with red sails. It had a bunch of the same strings and the same mast-looking pieces, and I just have vivid memories of my dad struggling to string the sails or line up the masts right or whatever it was. Now, I have zero memory of ever seeing the completed original version of the Black Seas Barracuda anywhere in my house or anywhere in my collection, but what I do remember is in our big box of miscellaneous Lego that every kid had, I remember seeing the couple of molded brown ship pieces. I remember the cannons were in there. I remember constantly coming across the big mast pieces and the pirate flags. And most distinctly, I remember having a bunch of pirate minifigures in our collection in our big box. We had tons of the original pirate sets. I remember seeing Captain Redbeard, these little guys with the red and blue striped shirts. And so I know we own this set at some point, but I have no memory of it ever being together. I just remember my dad struggling to put it together somewhere in the back of my head. I might have been 2 years old. We might have gotten it later. I might have been 4 or 5. Who knows? But this whole set, the entire time I was building it, was just wave after wave of nostalgia. And I was so looking forward to getting it, and it so didn't disappoint. Can I just start off by saying that even opening the box and pulling out all of the individual bags immediately brought me so much joy just by catching a glimpse of a pirate flag or the red and white of the sails. Seeing so many bright, vibrant colors upon opening a box just made me so excited to even start this build. Now, obviously, I have this set currently displayed as a pirate ship, but if you've seen pictures online of this same set, you may have seen it turned into a big, derelict pirate hideout island consisting of several pieces of the same pirate ship. That may be the best part about this build, is that it's a 2-in-1 where you can take individual pieces of the pirate ship, combine them with these 2 island pieces, and you take off a lot of the sails, you move some of the barrels and boxes around, and you end up having a pirate island. So talking about the island aspect of this build, if you follow the instructions, you don't end up with a pirate ship immediately. You first build these beaches with some dock pieces, and then you assemble these pirate ship pieces, but they end up being used as buildings or makeshift buildings as a part of this pirate island, as if the ship had just crashed and run aground, and the pirates have had to salvage what they could and turn this previous pirate ship into a cool outpost in the middle of the ocean. When the entire island is built and assembled, what you end up with is 2 large island pieces, one side consisting of the 2 middle hull sections of the ship, where you have Jose's Tavern in the front, as well as a couple of sleeping quarters in the back. And the other side of the island consists of the front and back ship pieces at various levels and angles, where the captain still has his quarters at a very high level, and that's all built into some intricate different dock pieces, which are of course all covered by boards and vines, really bringing this shipwrecked scene to life. A fun little Easter egg is the Jose's Inn sign actually has the goblet and grapes that are featured on the very old 1986 LEGO set, number 6067, The Guarded Inn, where that same sign originally appeared. And apparently the name Jose was the father of one of the creators in this LEGO Island set, so that was a fun little nod to him. When you bring these 2 halves of the island together, what you end up with is one really great looking complete play set. When you add the minifigures into the scene, there's just so much potential for playing out individual stories everywhere you look. The whole place is ripe with details, from the intricately decorated captain's quarters to the skeleton sitting almost hidden under the docks wearing the old school imperial or colonial hat that originally came out with the old pirate sets. Every little bit of this island is a lot of fun to explore and play with, and everywhere you look, from the interior scenes to the crabs in the ocean and the little bits of coral and seaweed outside, it all just comes together to make this really great looking diorama. There are barrels and crates littering the docks, really making this little island seem populated and busy. You can put different cannons in different positions to show that the island is guarded from every angle. There's even a little hidden treasure chest that you can only find if you separate the two halves of the island that sits underneath one of the docks. The individual pirate minifigures are a ton of fun. They each have individual backstories in the instructions, and most of them have fun names, like Port and Starboard being the matching guys with striped red and blue shirts, Tatuga, who's covered in tattoos and clearly a reference to Tortuga, the classic pirate island. And of course, Captain Redbeard makes a reappearance, the original captain of the Black Seas Barracuda, who looks super cool and was probably my original favorite minifigure, and who is probably my new favorite minifigure now. However, there are a couple of minifigures or mini creature figures that don't appear in this set, those being the classic red parrot, who everyone knows from the old days. Now we've got two blue parrots that show up in this set. One is shown sitting on the island, one is shown hanging out on the boat. And then, of course, we're missing the classic Lego monkey, who was a huge part of the original Black Seas Barracuda set. I remember loving that little monkey figure, but I guess they just didn't want to remake the monkey. I guess it's been out of production for a while, but I would have loved to see a monkey with this set. Speaking of things missing from this set, there are treasure chests, there is some gold, there's some jewels, but what we don't have is those classic little shiny Lego gold coins. I assume Lego stopped making something like that years and years ago, but it would have been cool to see some version of those coins or some nod to those coins in this set. I love that this set came with a rowboat. I love that this set came with a shark, because those two pieces I distinctly remember floating around in my big Lego box. And even my 2-year-old, when he came in to play with this set, completely ignored the whole pirate ship behind him and just played with the shark and the two guys sitting in the rowboat. So that's saying something. So overall, as a play set, this island is fantastic, but personally, I was in it for the ship, and so I left this as an island for as long as it took to take some video, and then I immediately took the steps necessary to turn it into a ship. Speaking of those steps, I listed this as one of the downsides to this set, is that it's not easy to go from ship to island or vice versa, just because it's time consuming to rig up all the ropes and the sails and taking off all the leafy parts and the boards, moving all the barrels and the crates around. Ultimately, it could be a lot harder of a process, but it was just hard enough that I probably won't go back and forth many times. However, once that conversion process is done, what you're left with is a big, and I mean big, beautiful version of the Black Seas Barracuda like we've never seen it before. This ship looks majestic from just about every angle. It's super fun to arrange the minifigures on the deck and play out little stories. When you put all the barrels and the crates on the deck, as well as the cannons and the minifigures, it does get a little crowded, but I kind of like that busy look. It makes it feel like an active pirate ship that's actually out and doing things. One downside to this set, when it's assembled as a ship, is that it's kind of hard to access these interior sections, which is a real shame because they're so intricately detailed. There are a couple of deck panels that you can pull off to get to those interiors, but even then it's kind of hard to see the full scene or really get minifigures in or out of those environments. Ultimately, I think this version of the set ends up being much longer and much taller than its predecessor, but it feels pretty sturdy and it's not too heavy to pick up and move around, so that's a big plus. I've listed a couple of the downsides to this set, but I wanted to go through a quick list of the pros that I think make a big difference. First, this set definitely hit the nostalgia nail on the head. I've said it before, and you'll probably hear many others say the same thing, but the original Black Seas Barracuda was such a classic LEGO pirate set that to see not only the ship come back, but the figures and the reimagining of this set as an island outpost, it's such a cool thing to have. Second, on a personal note, I'm a huge fan of anything that's nautically themed. I love all things ropes and rigging and pirate ships and that era of Jules Verne kind of pre-industrial revolution, anything dealing with the ocean or submarines or anything in that category I just love. So this set and the Ship in a Bottle set for me were instant buys, and that plays a huge part in why I like this set so much. My next positive is that this set is both playable and displayable. Personally, I like sets that display really nicely, and I think this set as a ship will do just that. On the other hand, people who want a play set that they can interact with and play out little scenes on, the island version of this set makes a really great play set. Another positive about this set is that the details are endless. Everywhere you look on this island scene, you'll find something new. The whole place feels alive. Because it's an island, because it's derelict, there aren't a lot of straight lines, there's not much symmetry, everything feels very organic, and personally there's something a little cathartic about following very rigid instructions in a LEGO booklet in order to build an environment that doesn't necessarily have to be just perfect. But when the instructions tell me exactly where and how to place the little crab, I know it's not going to make a difference to the overall set, but I'm still going to put it in the exact spot that the instructions tell me to. My final positive of this set, among all of the others, is that there are no stickers. I think a lot of LEGO fans, myself included, really appreciate when full scenes can be brought to life without the use of stickers. Obviously, LEGO could have made the pirate flag stickers or the Jose's Tavern sign a sticker, but the fact that they came as printed pieces makes a big difference to me. Obviously, there are plenty of other great things about this set, but those were a couple of points that I thought were worth pointing out specifically. So, overall, I think this set is fantastic. If I were giving it a rating, I would say it's a high 9.5 out of 10. I cannot wait to display it on my shelves. Anyone who's interested in the Pirates theme, I would highly recommend them getting this set. It may be a little out of some people's price range, but other than that, there are very few downsides, very few cons to this set. But I want to know what you think about this set. Is this a buy for you? Is it a pass? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Stick around for the speed build for this set, which is starting right now. See you in the next one.